Hi, welcome to our league match versus San Antonio Saints. Unfortunately, we were on a phone call before. We had a great league match, and I'm not very good at multitasking, quite frankly. I'm terrible at multitasking, so quite probably disrespectful to the person I was on the phone to. But yeah, had a match played here, and we were online with 75% attention. But I think we're super lucky because it was like a team above us or around the same as us in the league, one of the big contenders, and we sort of just got off to a pretty quick 5-goal lead, and it made it a bit easier to manage the conversation on the phone and the match. Apologies for missing that one, but really I think it was just like probably not a lot to learn, because not very often you're going to get that lucky and get that quick 5-goal lead. So it's not a lot to be learned in how to defend a 5-goal lead, I don't think. I think that's relatively straightforward. The other big news really with that match, the last one we recorded I think, was Calvo got injured, and he actually got injured for 5 matches, which means he's going to miss the one that he missed and 4 more, and then probably 2 more after that. We'll lose 1 more after that to recover, so he's out for a lot of time. We signed a free agent. He's not particularly good. Yeah. So for this match, in particular, I think we just want, the main thing really is, we're playing against 18th, the main thing really is that we're going to want potentially, I think it's less about having defenders to protect the lead. I think it's more about having the attacking tools, the attacking weapons to I think that's okay. Yeah, just to make sure that we can. I think Tony Daly here. I think that's the change. I think sorry. Okay. So what we did there was just to be clear. We swapped on a better attacking weapon for the right wing, where our right winger is quite is better defensive winger. A defensive winger and a winger who just adds defensively to your team. Attacking a bit obviously as well, like James Milner in real life. He played for City and England as a defensive winger. Just helps give your team stability, helps be tight, helps concede less goals. We had a lot of clean sheets this season, and he'd be in part because of that. But I think if we score the goals, we should just win. The main problem really was if we didn't score the goals, we need to be able to bring more attacking tools off the bench, and that's why him. Rather than because Montez is never going to be subbed off unless he gets injured. We're just taking that slight risk. So we've got the attacking tools. We've got a not very great striker, a good attacking winger, and not that good attacking midfield centre, but decent. So we got some tools. We could make 3 attacking substitutions if we needed the goals. But quite frankly, it looks like we don't, because we already got them. And right now, it is just play optimally and we win, pretty much. Probably Slater's actually been pretty reasonable, really. 7.3 for assists. That's decent, actually. Probably should maybe look to bring him on a bit more often. I think one of the main reasons why he hasn't played, he would have played a lot, I think, under normal circumstances. I think one of the main reasons why he hasn't played a lot is just because he's not starting. He doesn't quite have the stamina to play the whole match, which wouldn't necessarily be an issue. We've got so many other players that can't. So we've got so many other players, like typically both our starting left back and right back, and striker, basically. So 2 fullbacks and a striker pretty much need to be subbed off every match. And because of that, it's meant that We rarely just bring Slater on into central midfield as a matter of course, just as a change because the central midfielders are tiring, just because everybody else is tiring faster than them. Which means that if we had a more fit striker and fullbacks and we didn't have to do those substitutions, then we probably would have been choosing to bring on Robbie Slater far more often and we would have played more matches. So basically Robbie Slater gets to play less because our striker and fullbacks can't play a whole match and we have to sub him off. And the reason also why he can't start is the same reason, because he probably has to be subbed off if he starts, but we already got to sub 3 other people off. So he's kind of getting pretty unlucky there on 2 accounts. He's not starting because of them, and he's also not coming off the bench because of them. Same 3 players. Pretty unlucky. This match feels won. I think we can just tone down the aggressiveness, tone up the tempo. Probably should have done that. Maybe after the 3rd goal, but definitely after the 4th goal. So we're 5 minutes late on that. We're too busy waffling. I think we can actually go all the way to cautious as well. That was probably should have happened straight after the goal. Pretty late there. Could have been punished with a red or an injury or something, or a knock, but we weren't. Just thinking about the subs that we might want to do now. I think Mallet, Sabu, they will hurt. Mallet is really important. I still can't quite believe that we picked up a player with these attributes, technicals, 20 passing particularly, 50k. Still a bit bewildered that that's possible. As you can see, 9 goals, 8 assists, 17 goals and assists in 21 matches, doing really well. Another goalless match. I think that is Q2. And I'll do a substitution there. I think Robbie Slater could play this match. Speaking about him a lot, but let's give him a game. And in particular now, if Sabu got injured as well, we would be in real big trouble. So he's definitely going to be the 3rd sub. And really I'm just thinking it's definitely game over actually, so no point to delay that, let's just do it. I really don't know what he's particularly great. I just was up Ominga, Compliment. Really not sure who. Who it should be. We don't have any good penalty takers. I think only none actually. So no genuinely good ones. Just a whole bunch of average ones, which are decent for a penalty shootout. But what you really want is just one really good penalty taker. Our best one is Mallet, but he's not that good anyway. Yeah, and I think Sabu again decent. We talk about our 1st and 2nd choice penalty takers, so I guess it's yeah, it's a genuine weakness that we need to address at some point, that we don't have one player who's excellent at taking penalties, who is sort of guaranteed to start every match, because you want that. I think over the course of a season, particularly when you're in a really competitive league, you know, scoring all of your penalties, or as many of them as possible, can definitely make a difference on your points tally. This was a pretty easy win, it seems. And Montez, a hat-trick and 4 created chances. I think 2 goals. Yeah, nice goals all around. Convincing win. And yeah, like we said, I think we made the mistake that we should have upped the tempo and gone cautious tackling straight after that 4th goal, possibly after the 3rd goal. If we had done it after the 3rd goal, might have got an extra goal this match. Probably should have done it after the 3rd goal. Honestly, it just never looked like any result other than a win result from that 3rd goal, really. And then after the 4th goal, definitely so. So we were late on that, 5 minutes late for sure, but arguably quite a lot more than 5, because it should have happened after the 3rd one. The aggressive tackling particularly, because we might have had a player sent off, we could have got a player injured, it would have been unnecessary. I think the match was over after 3 goals. We should have picked up on that. Just maybe not have increased the tempo, but we should have gone cautious, or at least not fully aggressive tackling after that 3rd goal. That was definitely a mistake. And after the 4th one, should have been all the way cautious and up the tempo for sure, to try and run the score up and avoid injuries. So slight mistake, couple mistakes. We weren't punished, thankfully, but they were mistakes. Other than that, I think we made the right choice with the substitutes on the bench, even though they weren't really necessary, i.e. to have the extra attacking tools, because I just really genuinely think that, you know, that was never going to be a problem if we had a couple goals to defend that lead. The bigger problem was if we never scored them to begin with. We needed to wait to dig deep to make sure that we could score them late in the match if we didn't have them, if we needed them. So I think that was a right choice, even though they weren't needed. So yeah, good match. And back to the league table, I think that was great that we beat PCCFC in that last match, as we discussed, was it 7-1, and then we won 7-0. So that's great, but still, you know, feta cheese. We have exactly the same league records as each other, if you exclude the match that we played against each other that they won. But obviously you can't exclude it. It happened, it's included. And we're at home for that one, pretty sure. So play away, and yeah. So anyway, we could give them. I think if we could just sign a key player, a big player for next season, which we've been trying, but we've just been second highest bidder a few times. We can't quite get the player we need. But hopefully we will, and then maybe, just maybe, we could win this league. But for now, still just focusing on that top 4 finish. Things just look a little bit better now overall, because we won these 2 matches, and because quite a number of the other teams around us dropped points, and all of a sudden it went from looking very, very tight to looking still quite tight, but less tight, and us looking in a decent position overall. So cheers, thanks for watching, and catch you for the next match.